Now let's turn to the war in West Asia. Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar is dead. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah is dead. Israel has also confirmed the death of Nasrallah's potential successor, Hashim Safieddine. So all the big names are gone. Does that mean Israel has come out on top? The US certainly thinks so. They even sent Secretary of State Antony Blinken to convey the message.
Since October 7th, a year ago, Israel has achieved most of its strategic objectives when it comes to Gaza. Now is the time to turn those successes into an enduring strategic success. And there are really two things left to do. Get the hostages home and bring the war to an end with an understanding of what will follow.
Blinken went to West Asia again, his 11th trip since the war began. Like always, he tried to push for a ceasefire. He was always ignored in the past, but this time he had an ace up his sleeve.
But I believe that with Sinwar gone, because he was the primary obstacle to realizing a hostage agreement, there is a real opportunity to bring them home and to accomplish the objective.
That's the new pitch. Sinwar is gone. He's no longer an obstacle to hostage negotiations, so Israel should stop leveling Gaza and work to bring the hostages home instead. That is the pitch, and it has a lot of takers.
We keep on hearing for a long time now that Sinwar was the main obstacle to reach a deal, and now that Sinwar is gone, we are hoping that the pressure from the United States is going to be immense on the parties, whether it's Qatar, Egypt, Israel, and of course Hamas, to finalize the deal and bring them home.
Now that Sinwar is out of the way, now is the time to put pressure on the Hamas leadership in Qatar to lead a negotiation that will bring an end to this madness and bring a hostage deal and seal the deal.
Hamas still holds about 100 Israeli hostages in Gaza. Israeli officials say about 60 of them are still alive. Hamas also holds the bodies of about 35 hostages. They have not been returned yet. The former Hamas chief, Yahya Sinwar, was always blamed for stalling hostage negotiations. Now that he's gone, the families of the hostages want a deal immediately. And they have turned to the US. The families held a protest yesterday outside the hotel where Antony Blinken met with Israeli officials. They demanded that the US put pressure on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The families are not happy with Netanyahu's tactics, and you can see that from the banners and posters they're holding. They want the war to end and the hostages to return, and they aren't the only ones. A new poll shows that 77% of Israelis want to prioritize a hostage deal. With Sinwar dead, they think eradicating Hamas takes a backseat. In fact, more than half of the people surveyed said that it was time to end the war. Even Israeli soldiers are showing their frustration. Almost 140 of them, 140 soldiers, have signed a letter. They say they won't fight anymore, not until Israel signs a hostage deal. So there is growing pressure on the Israeli government and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in particular. And this time he does not have a clear enemy. There is no Sinwar or Ismail Haniyeh or Hassan Nasrallah. There is no enemy leader to point to anymore. So it may be harder for him to convince Israelis to keep fighting in Gaza and Lebanon. But does this mean that Netanyahu will focus on a hostage deal now? And reports say that talks are on. 2 parallel deals are being worked on. There's a small-scale deal which involves the release of 5 hostages. This will be in exchange for a 2-week ceasefire in Gaza. There's also a broader deal to free all the hostages. But that will take time. It will require Hamas to choose a new leader and then opening a new round of negotiations. That is how things stand at the moment. Israel is trying to work out a deal, but it may not happen fast enough. Until all the hostages are accounted for, the pressure on Netanyahu will continue to grow.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.